The moment you do this one thing, every toxic person in your life will suddenly act like you died. And that's exactly the point. Toxic people don't leave because they changed. They leave because you finally did the one thing they can't survive. And the crazy part is that you didn't invite them. You didn't allow them. They just infiltrated your life like Wi-Fi thieves, stealing your bandwidth and then acting offended when you change the password. Well, today, we're fixing that. Because there is one thing, one single shift, that if you do it once, just once, toxic people will start backing away from you like you suddenly developed a contagious skin disease. Let's get into it, because this video is about to give you the one shift that will make these types vanish like cockroaches when the lights turn on. 1. Stop explaining yourself. You know what toxic people love? Explanations. They want you to justify why you're setting boundaries like you owe them a TED Talk. But here's the savage truth. The moment you stop explaining yourself, their control dies. Toxic people hate when you give one-word answers. They hate when you stop oversharing. They hate when you stop giving them emotional essays. Because your long explanations give them loopholes to manipulate you. So instead of saying, hey, sorry, I can't make it because I have this thing and that thing, and honestly, I feel bad, just say, I won't be available. Watch their soul leave their body. When you stop explaining, they suddenly have no entry point to argue or guilt trip you. And that's when they start fading out. 2. Lower the access, not the kindness. Let me say this in the most savage way possible. You don't have to hate someone to block them from your energy. Some people shouldn't have VIP access to your life. Let them sit in the general section, behind the rope, at a distance, with no backstage pass. People get confused between being nice and being available. Those are not the same thing. You can be kind without letting someone drain you. You can be polite without being a doormat. You can smile at someone without letting them back into your private emotional house. Lower access, raise peace, and watch how the toxic ones start evaporating. 3. Give them nothing to feed on. Toxic people feed on 3 things: your reactions, your guilt, and your overthinking. Take away these 3, and they starve. That person who always tries to trigger you, stop reacting. That person who guilt trips you when you don't do what they want, stop apologizing unnecessarily. That person who leaves you overthinking for hours, stop giving them the power to define your worth. Imagine a mosquito trying to bite metal. That's what it feels like when a toxic person tries to get a reaction out of an emotionally unavailable you. They'll bounce off, hard, and eventually, they'll give up. 4. Match their energy with silence. Quiet, calm, unbothered. You know what's worse for toxic people than confrontation? It's silence. Because silence is the equivalent of blocking their emotional Wi-Fi. They want drama, they want a scene, they want you rising to the bait. Instead, you give them nothing. Not anger, not frustration, not even confusion, just silence. It's like unplugging their life support, and trust me, they will immediately start distancing themselves because without drama, you are useless to them. 5. Give them consequences, not warnings. A toxic person believes you're bluffing. Why? Because you keep giving unlimited last chances. But here's how you lose them fast. Don't threaten to block them. Block them. Don't say, I'll leave if this continues. Just leave. Don't say, I'm tired of this. Stop engaging. Don't say, I'm done. Show you're done. Actions end toxic cycles faster than speeches ever could. You don't need to scream. You don't need to fight. You don't need to give big dramatic monologues. Just give consequences without warning. Watch how fast they disappear. 6. Rebuild your self-respect. Here's the real reason toxic people stay. You think you need them. You think you're being too harsh. You think cutting them off makes you the villain. Let me put it like this. When you start respecting yourself, toxic people feel it. They sense the shift. They know the free emotional buffet is closing because suddenly, you say no without guilt. You walk away without fear. You stop begging for bare minimum. You stop tolerating disrespect disguised as jokes. You stop giving your peace to people who don't deserve access to your life. Self-respect is the ultimate insect repellent. No toxic person survives it. 7. Stop rescuing people who wouldn't save you. This one hurts, but it's necessary. You keep saving people who wouldn't even hand you a towel if you were drowning. Toxic people rely on your empathy. They rely on you feeling bad for them. They rely on your soft heart. But helping people who always hurt you is emotional self-harm. Here's the truth. If they needed help, they'd find someone else. If they needed chaos, they'd always find you, until you stop being available. Do this once. Let them deal with the consequences of their own behavior. You're not their emotional janitor. You're not responsible for fixing their mess. You're allowed to walk away. And when you do, watch how fast they disappear. 8. Give more energy to people who value you. You know why toxic people feel so loud in your life? Because you're giving them too much airtime. Shift your focus and give more time, conversation, affection, and energy to people who actually respect you. You'll notice something magical. The more you water the good people in your life, the less visible the toxic ones become. It's like having one flickering light bulb in a dark room. It feels important until you turn on all the other lights. Suddenly, that flickering bulb stops mattering. Here's what happens when you do all of this. Toxic people disappear. Drama reduces. You feel lighter. Your confidence grows. Your mental health skyrockets. Your peace becomes louder than other people's chaos. And when toxic people finally drift away, something even better happens. You realize they were never as powerful as they made you believe. They only had power because you kept giving them emotional access. Once the door closes, they fade quickly, silently, and permanently. You don't have to fight toxic people. You don't have to scream. You don't have to prove anything. You don't need a speech or an emotional explosion. All you have to do is shift your energy once. Protect your peace once and stop making yourself emotionally available once. And watch how toxic people disappear like they were never even there. This is your reminder. You are not hard to love. You're just surrounded by people who don't know how to love properly. Replace them with peace. Replace them with real people. Replace them with yourself. Choosing yourself first. That's how you level up. That's how you change your life. And that's how you make toxic people vanish without lifting a finger.